Hey, this is Vu, and this is going to be the updated entry frag routes on just about every map. And these will be places you can go and utility you can use to take control of an area with reasonably winnable gunfights in the meantime. And if you don't meet any opponents, you're going to have decent map control. So starting off with Inferno Banana is probably where you want to go. You can go as the first spawn or one of the first spawns, toss a molly towards car, then quickly get into the cubby here and wait. You wait and make sure that Opper doesn't peek you, or if he is peeking you, he has to fall back. If you hear someone pushing, you can toss a flash for yourself off the wall, peek out. Of course, the molly should still be up. You're going to nade corner, and off that nade, you can spam it. If anybody's there, you should kill them pretty quickly. After that, you can come here, wait for that molly to go down, toss a flash like that, and then peek off of it, trying to catch people that turn away because the flash is landing directly in front of them. And from there, you've more or less have banana control. Just clear out sandbags and you've got top banana control. At that point, you can do just about anything. You can definitely smoke off CT, but from there, it's on your own. Next up is Dust2, and really all of Dust2 is a solo entry frag route. This map is puggy as hell. However, if you're looking at a specific angle you can make your way over to, you're probably looking at CAD. This is an area that gives you a ton of map control, gives you a very good position once you get control of it, even though the fights on it aren't perfect. So if you want to try and smoke off Xbox to get there from top middle, you can come to this angle here, toss a smoke towards the antenna there, and that'll take a few seconds, but that will bounce down and explode on top of Xbox shortly, and you can use that to get cat control. Once you get up towards cat, you can definitely go for the peek here. Just shoulder peek this angle quickly. Once you clear that, you can peek out to clear out this angle here. Afterwards, you can use this flash off this little window door thing, and with that, you can run in and clear out these angles here. The other way you can do it is instead of running in, you can try and shoulder peek these angles, clearing out these spots around here, and then once you get to this angle here, you have to be worried about an Opper on that ledge. You can try to clear and just hope he's not there. You can toss a molly instead to ensure you can deal with that player effectively. And if you use that molly, it should push them off most of the time. And then to clear these angles here, you can toss a flash on top of the box and peek in front of it, where they should be turned away from that to try and avoid the flash, and you can get a free kill. From there, you've got cat control, and you can do mostly anything. However, you have very little utility to work with. You may have simply one flash left over. You can't really advance any further. The other way you can take this angle is you can come through lower tunnels, and this gives you a bit more workability. You can definitely get some other things done here, particularly because you don't necessarily need to use your smoke here. You certainly can use your smoke, and you can use your molly like this if you want as well, which should molly players out of the right door, and you can spam them down as they fall back, maybe to get a free kill for yourself. However, you can occasionally just come to this angle, maybe toss something like a flash there so you can peek out and clear these angles, and then jump up Xbox instead. And the benefit of jumping up Xbox, you also, you can not use your molly mid and save it for catwalk here to get the safe clear on the box. But if you do it very dangerously, for example, if you just clear out Xbox, then come up here, toss that flash, and just swing out, again, very dangerous, you can get cat control a decent percentage of the time without actually using any utility. And that means you can do something like throw the lurk smoke here towards catwalk, which can get you plenty of control for yourself. And from there, you have a little bit more playability as a solo player. So certainly which one of these you want to be going for and which situations you want to be going for them in are up to you. All right, next up is Vertigo. That's not right. Okay, next up is Nuke. That looks better. And on Nuke, usually what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to head your way over to outer. You can toss a smoke like this, call that the lurk smoke. And with that smoke, you can get a bit of control of outer, jump up on top, and use it as a bit of a one-way to try and get some sort of control or work towards big red here and get something done over this way. But you'll need teammate support from here on out. Hey, Vu, have you mentioned your Twitch yet? Why, no, concerned stranger, I have not. I don't usually like to advertise. Go to twitch.tv/VuCSGO. That's twitch.tv/VuCSGO. The other option you can do, and these are kind of semi-gimmick plays, but the other option you can do, you can make your way over towards ramp, jump across once the smoke is down, try and take down anybody at these angles here. If nobody are at these angles, you can work your way up, quickly try and clear out this headshot angle here, try and clear out the angle here, and if you don't see anything, you can toss a smoke down that should block off J connector, then you can continue to clear out these angles here, toss a flash for yourself to clear out the left wall, and then you can actually work around the side of this smoke and try and continue to clear out ramp. This one isn't perfect. Nuke is not a map where solo entry routes work very well, but if you're pressed and you're in a tough spot, these can have some success. In honor of Volcano designing maps for Valorant, we're going to take a look at the one decent map he actually helped design, which is Cache. And although it's not in the active pool, it's certainly a very active and popular map. We'll be taking a look at the B side of it. And I like the B side of Cache because usually, honestly, a lot of the time the weaker players play there. But also, it's another angle where you can kind of meticulously clear out angles one by one, instead of something like A, where you can't really get much control unless you get frags or your team executes the bomb site. So on the B side here, you have a few options. You can play the more aggressive option, which works better against, uncoordinated opponents, where you can toss this flash here, just a jump throw off the wall like that, and you can come around the corner with this. The reason that flash is really good, oftentimes oppers will be holding an angle like this, and with that flash and with that quick jump around the corner, although you are certainly vulnerable to some checkers plays, you can catch the opper that will routinely be holding that angle. You can catch him before he can fall back, tag him up, grab the kill, and from there you can get some decent control. Otherwise, if the opper isn't there, you can make your way over, clear out heaven pretty effectively, jump up on this box, and with this angle, you can try and clear out tree. Following that, you make your way over, clear out headshot. Following that, clear out this angle here, the headshot angle there, and then once you get into checkers, you've got decent control of the map. You can call your team over to B. You can even throw a Molotov yourself off the wall to try and molly off default if you know how to do it decently, or molly off headshot as well, and from there your team can take B fairly effectively. The other thing you can do is you can do this style that actually deals with checkers control, and to deal with checkers control you can come to a spot right about like this, and from here you should be able to aim right about here, take a run throw with the smoke, and with that run throw that's going to smoke off front B main. And off of that, you can use a molly as well from safety off of this little sloped ledge there that will molly in towards checkers. As long as you throw it from far back enough, that's going to molly off into checkers. And with that, you can easily clear out the close corner there. Before the smoke starts to dissipate, the molly should go down, and as soon as it starts going down, you can either throw a right-click flash or you can throw a bounce flash to clear out checkers of anybody that was in here. And that's a fairly safe way to deal with anybody trying to play B decently, and this exact clear that I just showed is the reason that B used to be a solo angle, but now is a place you play with two players. It's simply not possible to deal with this type of play unless you have two players here actually defending the bomb site. So although it's not my favorite way of doing it because it's a little bit less aggressive and all you're doing is getting checkers control, which from checkers you can't necessarily do all that much on your own in terms of clearing out angles one by one in a meticulous fashion, but it's certainly a way you can take checkers control and get things done. Next up will be train, appropriately named because of the trains, and usually you want to be making your way over to Ivy. The first thing you need to worry about here is the aggressive Ivy plays. Someone might try to push Ivy, so the easiest way to deal with that is to come to this angle over here, and from this angle here you can play anti-flash while lining up a flash of your own. If they flash push you, you can respond with your own flash and clear out these angles. Now once you get here, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because at this moment here you would like a teammate with you, and that teammate can either jump across to bait out a shot and you can peek inside to ensure you can grab the trade, or you do the same for them, or you do something clever like your teammate might sit on this ledge here and you boost above them trying to catch the opponent off guard, things like that. However, if you are left on your own completely alone, you can toss a flash like that and try and use that flash to cross over or catch any players that are trying to peek out too aggressively. Once you get to the other side of the Ivy, this is when things get a little bit easier. This is when you can use the utility. You can toss a smoke that lands like that, that's going to bounce off the wall and land left side, and off of that smoke you can toss a molly that lands right side. And with the smoke and the molly, you essentially push back any sort of control your opponents may be going for, and you can very easily get up to this angle here. And once you get to this angle, it's not all that easy for your opponents to deal with. You can stay here for quite a while. You can lurk through this smoke as well if you think it's possible, if you think your opponents might be only playing hell side, and you can put a ton of pressure on your opponents simply by having that control. The only other thing you really can do on this map is ladder control, but that's a lot less comfortable, and more importantly, it's a lot less significant. The reason I don't really recommend ladder is because once you get into ladder, you're not really putting any pressure on your opponents, you're not really getting anything done, and even the engagements you take in ladder aren't great. However, if you're trying to take ladder control, one of the easiest way to do it, especially if you're playing against weaker opponents, you drop a flash down like that, drop straight down, and you'll get a lot of kills on lower ranked players. Just a small gimmick you might enjoy. Next up, if we take a look at Mirage, we're going to be making our way over to the B side. You really can go middle as well. If you'd like to go middle, you can toss a smoke towards there. You can throw it from spawn as well, just as well. And this is one of the few smokes that you can actually consistently get your teammates to throw, which is quite nice. You can have some passive support from a teammate. You throw that smoke down, you toss a molly that lands like this, and you can toss a flash, one of a few. First, you can try and flash that. That will blind the connector player if he smokes off that molly and tries to contest. Otherwise, you can throw a flash like that, which is going to land beside the box here as you're coming out and catch anybody there. They'll be turned away from it, hopefully, and you can grab the free kill. Or you can throw something a little bit more basic, like a flash up high to cross to the boxes here. And if your teammate did throw a smoke towards top mid for you, you can throw your own smoke window like that. And from there, you can get quite a bit of mid control. So it's not perfect, but certainly something you can do. Otherwise, personally, I like to make my way over to B. It's not perfect either, because you certainly can be nullified here in B, at least for a while when they throw a smoke down that's effective, and sometimes your whole team can be dead by the time it's done. However, if your opponents don't throw smokes perfectly, or if your team can survive for a while, once it's down, there's lots of little things you can do, and it's really the only place on this map where you can consistently find single angles that you can clear one at a time without being exposed to multiple positions until you get to a certain point. So that's why I favor it over middle. Now, when you look at B, once the smoke is down, you can easily molly off Van, and a little trick is that when you molly off Van, there's two things people that were Van like to do. Number one, they might come over to bench, or they might go to default. Or number two, if they're a little bit higher level, a lot of the time this is what happens, they're going to walk their way under window and sit somewhere like here or like here, waiting for that molly to go down and not let you know that they were Van, because of course if they cross out and you're holding this, you know that they were Van. And to deal with that, you can easily toss nades that land just below the window there and catch these players as they're sitting down waiting for your molly to go back, and you can definitely get a ton of damage done with that quite often. Other than that, you can make your way out, clearing angle after angle all the way up, clear the headshot angle here, mark it, then headshot over here. Once you clear that, you can come over and clear the pillar, can move over, clear bench, and once you get to about this point, you stop being able to clear things on your own. The only thing you can do from here is either, get up here and try and survive for a while, or take the risk, clear this out, and move your way forward. The other thing you can actually do is toss a smoke here, and with that smoke here, you can do a ton of aggressive lurking, trying to clear out all of these angles instead. This smoke is, pretty dangerous. Certainly your opponents can go inside of it. They can do plenty of weird things, but it is an option as well. Next up is Overpass, and Overpass is a map that has a pretty uncomfortable T side, and a lot of what you're doing are simply gimmicks. One of the gimmicks you can be doing is making your way over to A, toss a flash over towards mid as you cross over to push that opper back. Then you can make your way quickly over to Party, where you can try and deal with the player divider by crouching up to this angle here and then uncrouching and catching them off guard, especially if you're using an op. Or you can use that same flash. With that flash, make your way up quickly to the side right off the bat and try and catch anybody that might be late peeking middle, catch them off guard. Following that, you can peek up on top of this fountain here to clear this angle here, which should give you enough of an advantage that as long as your aim is on point, you should take that player down pretty quickly, and then end that off by tossing a smoke in towards the bathrooms there and use this molly here to molly off divider. And from there, you should be able to make your way over and deal with the player in connector or anyone in these angles around here and actually get some control of the map. But again, because there's not too many angles you can be actually clearing one at a time in this position, you probably need some support from your teammates, or you need to be catching your opponents in the wrong positions or simply not ready. On the B side, you can go for short B control, which is even more of kind of a gimmick or something you need teammates for. You stop on this corner here, aim at the bottom of this B for a jump throw on 128 tick only. I'm sure there are other ways to throw this on 64 tick, the run throws for example, but this is the way I prefer to throw it since I mostly play 128 tick. Following that, you can either go quickly over to short or you can spam down and make sure nobody runs through it. Following that, you can make your way down, toss a flash off the ground, smoke off a molly if there is one, swing out, clear the boost, swing out wide, and clear all of short. Again, this isn't foolproof. Certainly you can be dealt with here if they smoke off your molly and try and contest. Certainly there are ways this can go very, very, very wrong, but it works out more often than not, and it can certainly get you some wins. So thanks for watching, and I hope this helped. Hey Vu, where's Vertigo? Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. Vertigo? Nah. Well, maybe on Patreon. Why don't you check out my Patreon? Patreon.com/VuCSGO. What is Patreon? Patreon is a way to support the creators that you love. If you enjoy my content and want to give back because YouTube pays me a pittance, go to patreon.com/VuCSGO.